We gonna be alright. We gonna be major.
What's good, y'all? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is. It's another day, another podcast. Nothing but vibes. You feel me?
Tori, you put your finger off the button, please. Quarantine radio. Everybody who's listening to this is like, damn, they're loud.
Oh, man.
No count. Yeah.
But you know what it is. It's your boy Champagne. They know the face. They know the name. My Instagram is down here at the bottom of the screen. So go ahead and make sure you tap into that at _ChampagneJ. But, you know, to my right, we got...
You know, it's your boy Brandon, be major, the one and only, the GOAT, the kid. Y'all know what a kid is, right?
Not you.
It's a baby goat. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know, we're here at Self-Made Studios. I'm an audio engineer, producer. I run it up a bag, make great music. That's what we do.
Yes, sir. And introducing our special guest to my left, we got...
You know, it's your boy Ziggy, a.k.a. Thick Brows, a.k.a. Mr. Frozone, a.k.a. Mr. Proud.
Thick Brows is really crazy, bro. I can't even hold you.
Hey,
is
yo,
that
Thick
thick
Brows.
with 2 C's?
Nigga, yeah.
He said
Three. 3 C's.
That's crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy,
That's
bro. I
wild.
can't even hold you, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
man.
you know, I'll
see
make
it.
it do what it do.
And for those that know, he did say Mr. Proud. That's like Oscar Proud from the Proud family.
Yeah.
Just in case y'all couldn't put two and two together.
There
Right.
we go, there you
Yeah.
go.
Thick Brows. I'm sticking
Not gonna
with
let it go.
TB for life.
You can't say
You can't
TB.
say
Dang,
TB.
TB for life is really tough, though.
That's like
disease.
tuberculosis. You can't do
It's a
that.
disease.
You can't say that.
I'm coughing all day.
And it is for life, right?
It doesn't go away.
Dang, okay, sorry
Oh my
about that
gosh, bro. Oh my goodness.
one.
We play too much.
Oh, man. But Ziggy, I appreciate having you on the show. You already know your fam. We love having you here today, Brody, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely,
you want to tell the
absolutely.
people who you are. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you all for letting me be in here, man. It feels
Yeah.
amazing. This is
Yeah.
some top notch, setup and everything. So I
Hey,
feel
we
good. I
appreciate
feel
that.
good when I step in. I feel like I'm gonna get service. I'm gonna get what I need. You know what I mean? So
I pull up and I
Hey.
get service.
I get service. You know,
We
so.
do our best to take care of our guests. You know what I'm saying? So,
ball.
hey, I'm just
Tori,
saying.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you might have to put me in the studio for that one.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put me in there.
Can I name you Thick Brows, though?
No.
I thought I could over that.
That's only me. What are you talking
That's
about?
Ziggy, I'm sorry.
The one and
That's
only.
me.
The one and only
The
Thick
one-
Brows. 3 C's.
But now for real, okay. My name is Ziggy. You know, I have a side business, a self-business clothes on the side. I work as a physical therapist assistant. I also have my own podcast called Physical Mindset. You know, it's small, but you know, something that I enjoy doing as well. But nothing compared to these guys. These guys are killing it. Love what they're doing for the
Stop
people,
it,
for the
stop
IE and
it.
everything. So, you know, happy to be on here.
Man, lucky to have you.
I'm gonna correct you real quick though. It's not even an IE. We're international, worldwide. You know what I'm saying? We coming for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, we going to Dubai. We're gonna do some interviews in Dubai one
Okay.
day. We're gonna go to where we going? Just in Singapore. We're gonna do some interviews.
Konnichiwa?
Is that a all right, well, that's the end of the interview. We're going to go ahead and close the shop. Ziggy, it was great having you on here, I guess. So.
Thank you for your time. It's time for us in the show.
Nah, bro, but for real, man. We're worldwide. We're coming for the world. Besides
If
where
you're-
Ziggy's going.
If you're coming internationally, we can't pay for your ticket.
Yeah.
But
y'all can come with
Once
us
you,
virtually.
once you get to the studio, we do our best to take care of
that
our
part,
guests.
that part. Oh,
But-
man.
Yeah, no, we definitely are aiming to travel and do interviews and get around to as many people as possible. But
I get around.
yeah, all right, Tupac. But
Yes, sir.
as always, to start the show, we do a little quick check in. So, B, how's your week been?
B, how's your week been? I've always liked that question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nobody really asked me how I'm doing throughout the day, so.
Oh. Ziggy, how
crazy.
let you have your moment over there.
I was gonna say, let me cry in the corner. But my week's been really good, man. You know, we actually had our very first and ever event, and we had a More Than a Voice beach day. So we invited everybody out to the beach. We were sending out messages. We were blasting it on Instagram.
Posting
Friends
reels.
and family were sending it everywhere.
Yup.
And literally we had people from every other group. People that you know, people that I know, people that Ziggy knows, people that all our friends know really came out and really supported, bro. And that was dope. It was
great
It was
to
dope
see.
to see like who was rocking, who was supporting with us and everything like that. Like and that's not to say like if you didn't show you ain't supporting us, but like we it was cool to see everybody out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
It was all vibes. It felt like more like a family type thing than anything else.
Yeah, it was
You know what I'm saying?
it was a great feeling, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even though there were so many different friend groups there, like it was never we're clicked up, we're over here to ourselves. Like everybody was inviting, and you could have been a part of any and every conversation, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like we said, it was nothing but vibes.
Yeah,
vibes.
nothing but vibes. Nothing but vibes. So that was really.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm feeling great after that. I was actually exhausted after.
Who you telling?
But emotionally, I feel great.
Yeah.
Let me say that. Physically,
Yeah.
I might be a dead body. But
I'm hyped to get a dead body.
It was fun.
emotionally, I'm up and I'm awake. So, yeah.
Getting out of bed this morning was rough, let me tell you. I woke up with a headache. I was dehydrated. I was like, the beach, walking through the sand, being in the sun all day, like, it's different.
I don't know
It's
how
real
people do it.
different.
I don't know how people do
I forget every time how drained you feel after the beach, but it's always a fun time in the moment. Yesterday was a great time in the moment. Like we said, we love everyone that came out and showed support. And hopefully, if you didn't make it out to this one, you're able to make it out to the next one.
Yes, sir.
And we can go up even more, like we did yesterday. But yeah, Ziggy, what'd you think of the beach day? How'd you feel about it?
Oh yeah, beach day was fun, man. It was a much needed break from the weekend, from the week. You know, it was really good to see some old friends and rekindle, laugh, have some vibes and stuff like that. Meet new people as well. So
right.
really fun experience, and that was what was so great about that beach day. You got different friend groups, but can all still come together and still have a great time, still have vibes, still have, just a fun time. And that's exactly what I had. Caught the vibe, rode the wave.
Caught the
that's fire.
vibe, wrote the wave.
fire.
Caught the vibe, rode the
You got to
wave.
put that on the T or something.
Yeah.
Sound, bro.
Caught the vibe,
Rode the wave. You know what
Ooh,
I'm
front and
saying?
back.
You
That
know,
was pretty
that's
fire.
That's kind of hard.
Not gonna lie.
MTV putting out gear now. I mean, I don't
Little
know.
merch?
I don't
Some
know.
merch?
On the side?
Caught the vibe, rode the
Caught
wave.
the vibe. Hey, hold up.
it's
No,
pretty
for
fire.
real though. We're gonna put that together. No
I
cap.
like that.
No cap. We're gonna put that together.
Hey,
I bought 10
I'm
of
with
them.
it.
We gonna buy 10?
I bought 10 of them.
I'm 10 of them too.
10 of them.
Hey, just make sure we copyright that so we can't go and resell that.
Nah, that's crazy.
So the one that said it, I can't.
He literally
Copyright
just
it.
cut you out of the deal. That was
He said, "Oh, that's
crazy,
fire.
right?
Hey, yo, let's go make a
Yo,
deal right
let's
now.
go make it without him. No, like, let's
Let's do something.
cut him out. Cut him out.
Nah, I'm just playing. Of course you get the little cut. Of course.
50%. 50.
That works for me because I was going to give you 75. But yeah, 50 works. Cool. We'll lock that in. But
Crazy,
man, it's glad you're able to come in yesterday too, have a good time at the beach. But yeah, man. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. But you want to, you have like a vintage business. You're a PTA as well. Tell the people what got you into vintage clothing and wanting to sell vintage clothes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, my site business is called the Vintage District. So if you just go on Instagram, it's _Vintage District. And as you can see behind me, I got some T-shirts. I got Drake versus Lil Wayne. I got a tequila shirt.
Does that say 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4? I was really
yes.
about to say 4. I was so close. Dang, man, 4? Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds right.
Yeah. So these are just some examples of some T-shirts I got. But yeah, I mean, I've always been into vintage. Like I always say this, like if I wish I was this age in the 90s, I feel like I have a great time. I just love that era. I just love the clothing. I just love the fashion, the style and everything back in those days. But I really got into it because like during COVID 2 years ago, obviously, it affected all of us. And I feel like it kind of brought out the entrepreneurship in us. So, I got furloughed from my job. That was kind of heartbreaking. So I had to make money somehow. So obviously you had the EDD during the time and stuff like that to help you. But I needed something more sustainable. So I had a whole bunch of vintage clothes that I had in my closet. So I ended up just like on a whim, just took a couple pictures of the t-shirts, posted them on Instagram and everything. And then after that, I just took off. So I just, kept posting and, fell in love with like the thrill of going to the thrift store or going to like a flea market and like finding old clothes that, I enjoy that somebody else might enjoy too.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like, making it a hobby and making money out of it. So
It's fire.
I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah,
Those sides.
Ziggy actually had on this fire Static Shock t-shirt at the beach.
Tell him.
And
That shit was so hard.
Talk
yeah,
about it.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm taking it from him.
It was fire.
Y'all already hear. Y'all see
Not
me
gonna take
outside in a Static Shock shirt. Don't ask no questions.
It's not gonna happen at all.
I am not a criminal.
Over my dead body.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put it in my will.
Dang, that's
Brandon
crazy.
cannot have this
That's
t-shirt.
crazy.
Dang.
Yeah,
If
kinda-
you see him with the t-shirt, no, that's why I'm not alive anymore. That's crazy. Or if I've gone missing, check Brandon
That's
Brown
right.
first.
Check Brandon's closet first.
It's probably in there.
Oh man,
That's crazy.
That's dope though, man. Yeah, I feel like COVID actually, like you said, brought out a lot from everybody, whether it was entrepreneurship or just like refinding themselves or rekindling relationships and things like that. It's weird and it's tough to kind of say that there's like a brighter side to the pandemic and what was going on, but there was like I think everybody had a chance to kind of reset, take a break, breathe. I know there was a lot of panic going on, but within that, we were trying to find ways to really cope. And those coping mechanisms turned into hobbies and businesses and like life-changing experiences. Like
Right.
people were like, where am I going next? What am I going to do next? I'm going to build a house today. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that's a little
Build a
extreme.
house.
That's a little extreme. I'm sorry. You
Oh,
know?
okay.
Their
But you know,
goals,
hold up. Brick by brick is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to build something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Brick by brick.
Exactly though. But I really feel like it brought a lot out, and it's dope to see where it brought you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've literally seen you go from selling on Instagram to pop-up shops to like literally. I think you
Yep.
posted your first reel the other day.
Yeah, he did.
Very first one.
Yeah, that was a whole
Very
commercial.
first
I ain't
one.
gonna hold you. I liked
You
it.
know,
I was
it was
rocking
nice.
with it.
I
was
like-
rocking
I
with it.
like
I was
it
rocking
too.
with it. Yeah.
I'm inspired by you, Justin. I want to make
Stop it.
I
Stop it right
was
now.
trying to be famous like you.
I said I'm gonna be a
Did
TikTok.
you use that tripod I sent you?
Excuse me?
You use the tripod I sent you?
I'm about to buy it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to change your life, I
Right.
promise you.
But yeah, man,
That's
that's dope.
fire, man. That's
dope.
fire.
That's dope.
Absolutely.
Shoot.
You were also talking earlier too about actually because you said vintage. Do you remember that? What was it? The crew neck that you had? The crew neck. It was like a.
What
If
crew
you guys
neck?
remember in the '90s, they had like the little cups. It was like white
the
at
dentist
the top.
cups?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the blue
yeah,
at the
yeah.
bottom, and it had like the little purple wave
I
through
know them
it.
as dentist cups. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
you
know.
get them in
I
the
don't know.
nurse's
Party
office.
I thought they were party cups.
Were they party
Were
cups?
they party cups?
Could you use them as a party cup?
I don't know. It was a cup. It was a cup.
They
And
had
if you know what I'm
plates-
talking about, you know what I'm
they
talking
had
about.
plates
They did
too.
have
They had plates the same.
So
Yeah.
you were dressed as a plate.
So?
What'd you say? Dixie cups.
They were
Dixie
Dixie
cups.
cups.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. That's what it was. That's what it
Ah,
was.
Yeah, you had a crew neck that was like that. And every time I saw it,
remember
I
that.
was like, man, it's yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was fly.
I see you, boy.
Yeah, Thick Brow, you was fly.
Oh man.
Should've never said Thick Brow.
Nah, probably not. You ain't losing that again.
Never ever.
Oh,
But
man.
no, yeah, you
My
definitely
guy,
been
like,
into the
what
vintage
makes
for a while.
what exactly makes a vintage tee? Like, I feel like, of course, like age and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, what makes a quality vintage tee? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes the ones that sell the most?
Yeah, I think, just a true definition of vintage is anything more than 10 years. So,
It's I'm just
You're
saying.
vintage.
I'm vintage. I'm double vintage.
I'm vintage.
He's vintage.
just as vintage.
I am vintage.
I want to be triple vintage soon.
So,
That's kind of
So-
scary.
Old
I
ass.
don't want to talk about it. Don't call me old. I'm vintage.
oh,
Dang,
this
bro,
is vintage,
relax.
yeah.
Is there anybody in the audience that's triple vintage?
Raise your hand.
Quadruple vintage.
All right, you can't see our guest audience, but they just raised their hand. Vintage in one.
vintage
I don't
in
know
one.
if that's how it
That's
works.
how we're
That
gonna
is definitely not how it
say
works.
how old we
That's
are.
like parents saying, "Oh yeah, my child is about 23 months old."
Bruh.
It's like, he's 2. Please.
Thank you. Please,
Just say 2.
please stop.
Just say 2.
They're two. Like, you're triple vintage in one.
vintage in one.
Yep, and I'm gonna walk away from every conversation. I'm not involved.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Ziggy, what
But-
makes a vintage tee?
Yeah, so I mean, it goes all the way back. You can find T-shirts from like even the 30s, 40s, 50s,
in the
60s.
30s?
So yeah, there's people
There
that
was
really
T-shirts in the 30s? I
collectors.
thought that-
Yes,
They
there's
had the little ruffles.
might be.
I don't know
There
what
was
I'm
a
talking
baseball baseball jersey like back in the major leagues back then in the 30s.
Damn.
That sold for like 10,000.
What?
I believe it.
I believe it.
I believe
So
it.
it's
believe it.
crazy. There's a world out there for vintage heads
Yeah.
who want antique stuff. So even it doesn't even have to go through clothes. It could be like baseball bat.
Yeah.
It could be like a trading card.
Right.
It could be
That's
literally
what I'm trying
a
to do with
post.
these Funko Pops. That's
That'd
what
be
I'm
fire.
trying to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Even
Even
on to these.
yeah, even posters
Oh, yeah.
go
Yeah.
for money too. So it just vintage in the general.
Yeah.
Shoes, pants, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Chains, jewelry, tables too, chairs. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to find some shoes from the 30s. What was the drip like back then? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Probably out of this world.
Right.
know?
You walked out in the
There's
30s and they were like, yeah,
Loafers.
he's the one with the style. Like, you know,
He is the one with the
Loafers.
style.
loafers.
I promise you, it was probably loafers.
You think they had Stacey Adams back then? Like they wasn't rocking the Stacey's in the 30s.
Hey, you never know.
Trying to see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I actually wonder when did like Stacey Adams start to become
I think.
a thing. Yeah.
Oh, no, I couldn't even tell you, but I know they're fire.
No, high key they are.
Bro.
Yeah, the drippeth was Wyeth.
What did you say?
Drippeth?
The drippeth?
The drippeth was fire.
Yes.
What year? Really? Oh,
Stacey Adams?
Stacey Adams was alive back then. Hey, there you
More
go.
you know.
This
Google
guy-
approved.
She's Google approved. My
Hey,
man
shout out to
Stacey
Google.
is Stacey is extra vintage. Stacey is vintage,
Extra
vintage,
vintage.
vintage,
Hey,
vintage.
let me find some Stacey Adams from the 30s, man. If you got some Stacey Adams in a size 13, hit my
Let me know.
Instagram.
They gonna hurt your feet, boy.
They can do a lot more. It was probably made out of cardboard. But let me tell you, it's the finest cardboard in the land.
Finest cardboard, top notch quality
That's crazy.
cardboard.
That's crazy.
But,
man.
so with all that vintage stuff, do you ever see yours like you do a lot of clothes?
Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself getting into like memorabilia too, like you said, like bats, like figurines or posters or anything like that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I started kind of a little bit because I'm really into basketball. So like, I have a lot of vintage basketball T-shirts, posters, like even magazines, cards,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I started getting into like action figures, vintage action figures, and it's something that I want to, but some I just need to, do more studying and stuff like that. I mean, there's money in toys, like. There's a lot of money in toys
for
too.
real. Yeah.
So there's a lot that that you can gather from knowledge of like watching other people going through like garage sales, and they pick up a golf club and it sells for like 150, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn, okay, well, it's a TX 300. Then you try to find this.
Find a TX 300.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So I mean, it helps to kind of do your research, and you venture out and you find like all these different things that you didn't know. Go for money. It's like, damn, okay, I could get extra 150 in my pocket just on the golf club.
Right,
It doesn't have to be that, but
Have you ever thought about like buying a storage unit? I've low key always thought about like, how they do
Yeah.
like storage unit sales.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always thought like that I've seen people find like shoes galore, like
Yeah.
literally
It's crazy.
like tons of
crazy.
Jordans, everything. So I'm like, you never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
It's low key like playing the lottery though.
it is because you might get a dub.
Right.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
It's
dud.
all-
Yeah.
Nothing but microwaves. Like,
That's it.
literally, like, who was in here storing microwaves?
tires.
Tires.
You know they're criminals. You know damn well they're criminals.
Oh, for real,
Oh, my
man.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I think even at one point I'm pretty sure they still are. But do you remember like when Beanie Babies were like a really big thing?
Oh no, Beanie Babies still sells.
Beanie
Still
Babies
sells.
went
Yes.
Still sells.
nuts.
Yeah.
Still sells.
Yeah,
That's
there
facts.
were
You blanked.
no, I didn't blank. But I remember all the times when we would go to getting a little emotional.
Oh man.
But
Oh, man.
no, just all the times we would go to. It was just a memory. Just all the times we'd go to Jenny's mom's house. She'd have like a bunch of Beanie Babies all over the place and stuff
Right.
like that. So that was nice. But
Yeah.
I even think remembering, was it the Yak? They
Yeah,
had a bunch?
the senior center in the city of
Yeah.
Claremont, they get a donation of like this big bag of Beanie Babies.
Really?
It's over like 1,000 Beanie Babies, I think, a year.
Uh-huh.
They get donated. So I used to be like, which one I'm gonna find today? Like, which one
Right.
can I
Yeah.
sell? I
Yeah,
think I still
used to
have
get
some.
a lot.
bro.
They used to get a lot. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's crazy. Vintage is literally, it's all over. I didn't even know how many people were in vintage, like involved with the vintage like
Right.
business until like, I think I had one other friend, and then once I saw you get into it and like saw you getting more like involved with it, like I just started to notice so many other people that we do know that are involved in the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a crazy experience when you go to like flea markets or pop-ups and everything, and you just really get to see how big it is and how involved people can actually be with it.
Right.
So that's amazing to see. But I know earlier too you mentioned that you were a PTA.
Mm-hmm.
So what got you into being a PTA? What made you want to be a PTA? Kind of started that whole route for you?
Yeah, so I actually bounced around with a couple different majors. I wanted to be a business major first. Didn't really pan out. Didn't really want to do that. Then I wanted to do athletic training. And then after that, got into being a physical therapist assistant. And I really enjoyed doing this. You know, I have a whole backstory about how I became like a PTA and stuff like that. And it's just crazy the way, you know, I was able to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
But what really made me get into it is just like seeing people get back on their feet. But, you know, just watching somebody recover from injury and then having that smile on their face and like, you know, seeing them happy that they can, you know, walk upstairs. You know, something simple that we don't really see too often, but or that we don't really take for that we take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so great to see. Okay, I can finally sit down in the chair. I can get up from a chair. I can like sit down and play with my kids and get up and play with my kids. You know what I mean? So just improving like their overall quality of lifestyle is something
Right.
that I enjoy doing and, you know, fell in love with. And I just love learning about the human body and telling people like little tricks and things that kind of like prevent them from being injured again. Like, okay, you can work out your tibs, tibialis anterior, which is like your shin.
Yeah, I knew
muscle,
that.
basically.
I knew
Oh, did you?
Okay. Need to give you the license.
that. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Appreciate it.
Where's your Anconius, Brandon? Since you're so knowledgeable.
Your Anconius is that exactly exactly of course like okay leave me alone now. Leave me alone.
But yeah, just working out that can help like prevent knee injuries and stuff like that. Just like little tidbits of knowledge and facts can like go a long ways for these adults. So this really made me get into it, and that I just really enjoy doing. Yeah,
That's dope, man. That's dope. So I know at one point you were doing athletic training. You didn't like athletic training?
yeah, man, it was too much taping. Too much taping.
Man said I was out there like this extra sticky.
I was like, God, got stuck.
I feel
Because
that.
my fist or nothing.
Yeah, I feel that. It is a
So-
lot of taping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really your strong suit anyway. So I mean, it's okay.
You ain't gotta put my eyes out there like
Right.
that.
All right, my bad. I actually remember. I remember there's. Wow. But I actually remember there was one time we were in clinic, and you had gone to the gym and you were hella sore, and you had asked somebody. I think it was Autumn. You asked her to roll massage you or roll out your.
Yeah.
When I tell you, the video comes on my Snapchat memories all the time, but he had one vein.
Stop it.
Bulging out.
Bro, it was,
You were in that much pain.
Bro, I was.
He said all my life.
I had to fight.
bro,
I was fighting back tears.
Funny. It was literally the funniest
That's
video I've ever seen. Like, it was so funny. Honestly, like, I'll show you later.
I'm about to
but
see
it
it.
was
We
so
might have
funny.
to play it. We might have to play it.
So the audience.
It was so funny, bro.
Oh,
but
man.
no, yeah, it was always a good time having you in clinic and stuff like that. It was always fun. It's always fun having like someone that you like really know, like one of your boys, someone that you're really close with in clinic with you, or just even in the classroom. Like, it's always a good time. Like, even that one class that we had.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that me and Justin should never do, it's be in a class together. It was nothing but trouble, nothing but drama. I say drama because we roast people all day. You remember that one dude we roasted? He tried to meet us outside, bro. That's crazy.
happened,
that serious?
bro? It was so bad.
I couldn't even remember what happened, but I know he was hot. Him and his girlfriend, because we
Yeah.
roasted
Roasted
both of them.
Yeah.
We had no choice.
They did.
It was
What
out of
did
my
they say
hand.
to you?
It was out of my. I don't
I don't
couldn't tell you.
remember, but we were sitting behind them, and they were sitting at the desk in front of us, and I forgot what happened. It was either for the movie that was playing or something, but something happened, and we said something, and then he just got upset, and then if you know us, you know we don't really care too much.
Right.
So,
Not at all.
I'm cracking jokes. all
yeah,
day.
so he got upset, and we were like, "Oh, you're mad," and then we were like, "Oh, he's mad." So we just
he's
kept
mad.
going, and then his
Okay.
girlfriend turned around and got upset too, and then it was just a whole thing. But
whole
yeah,
connection.
I wish I could remember the story because it was really funny.
whole what?
The
Yeah,
whole conniption.
Conniption. Spell it.
Huh?
Spell it.
Y'all are giving me some trivia today.
Spell it.
yeah, exactly. So, Ziggy,
Oh my goodness.
y'all are disrespecting me today. I don't know how I feel about it.
disrespect.
What?
Yeah, no, exactly, never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, we're gonna end the show here. Oh man.
Oh gosh. But yeah. So what are your goals with like, you know, your vintage business or PTA? Like where do you want to take those, or do you have any plans with those, or
Yeah, I mean, I think the main plan, like I always want to keep vintage like as a side business, because there's some people out there that I follow that sell vintage clothes to, like NBA players. Like they're literally up in the hotel suite with them, suitcases of vintage clothes, just spin racks just on t-shirts.
that's crazy.
So it'd be great to like, you know, sell a t-shirt to somebody, or you know, it doesn't even have to be a basketball player. It could be like anybody famous. So I actually gave a shirt to Eric Bellinger.
Really?
Yeah. So one of his manager, his friend like hit me up because I posted something about Eric Bellinger and everything, and I was like, this is my favorite artist. And he hit me up. He's like, yo, my friend is a manager or manages Eric Bellinger. You want to give him a shirt? And I was like, hell yeah, of course. So I picked like out the best tee that I want to give it to him, and then gave it to my friend, and then my friend gave it to Eric's manager. So he said, yeah, we're working on a video and everything, and gonna post it and tag you and everything in it.
That's
So
crazy.
that's gonna be dope
Fire.
too.
So you got the plug and didn't hit me?
So
Exactly.
He said,
crickets.
Oh man.
Yo, so I get this producer homie. Let me slide you
I'll just
his
put it
way.
this way.
But I mean, it's fun too. Even the girl off of you know, Topanga off of Boy Meets World.
Yeah, I think I remember.
I remember that picture.
Yeah, so she was at ThriftCon, which is like a really big event for like thrift heads and stuff like
ThriftCon,
that.
I do remember
ThriftCon is
seeing
crazy
that.
to even think about, bro. Like it's really that big of an industry.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like
that's
people
dope.
really
That's
go
dope.
for this stuff, and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it's like sustainable. Like, why
Right.
keep making clothes where it's gonna be dumped? Because there's stories where a bunch of t-shirts just get dumped into the desert in Africa, and it's like just a waste. So why don't you just like
Dang.
or keep using, you know, old clothes or reuse them? So it's just like it's sustainable, portable, to make money off of it. So it's just like overall great business to be in. But
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, back to Topanga, like her husband is like a producer for like this TV show and stuff like that for like vintage clothes. So she came to our booth and like picked out a shirt, and I told her like, yeah, that's the price. Paid it no problem, and got a picture.
I would hope it was no
with
problem.
her
She got
and
money.
everything. Yeah, so it was cool. What was funny about it too, I didn't even know that was Topanga until like my homie hit me.
Stop it.
Bro,
So
you didn't know
I
that?
didn't see this,
No,
bro. What?
I knew she looked familiar. I was like,
Man, girl,
she has to be
something about
she has
you.
to be she has to be a celebrity or something. And so like I knew she was from somewhere, but I didn't know where. So like I took the picture with her. I was cool chopping up with her. I wasn't like a fanboy, like, oh my god, like let me get a picture.
Hey,
with you.
that would've been me.
That
You know
works
what I
out
mean?
in your favor then.
So
'cause
yeah,
she-
it worked out in my
yeah.
favor. Otherwise, she probably would have not
She'd
got
be
to
like,
see it.
hey, excuse me.
Yeah,
Like,
so
oh,
it
this
was
is a weirdo.
funny because after like she bought the shirt, she walked away. When the homies come up, she's like, "Bro, do you know who that was?" I was like, "So familiar. Isn't she from like a show or something like that?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's Topanga from Boy Meets World." I was like, "Get the fuck out!" And I was like,
That's
"Shit, at least they got a picture."
Right.
You know.
Bro.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
When I tell you used to like stay up late on purpose just to watch Boy Meets World,
I can.
or like I would live for
Oh,
the re.
no.
I would literally live for the reruns. Like I would just wait for them. And Boy Meets World is high key one of my favorite shows to this day. It's honestly like a really good show. Like
Yeah.
if you've really never like watched it, you should. What you say? Oh yeah, no, yeah. It
knowledge.
definitely has those like
Definitely got a crush.
those moments where it teaches you about life and certain things like that. So yeah, I 100% had a crush on Topanga. 100%.
Just saying,
100%.
if you can meet, if you got her number,
Send that
Go
NDA
ahead.
again.
Yeah, please. I saw she was in what was she in? She was in Jack Harlow's promo video for his last album.
yeah, she was.
Yeah,
She
and I was
That's
like,
it.
man, she still got it.
Oh Lord,
But,
Oh, my goodness.
but yeah, no, honestly, when you keep saying like being in like selling vintage clothes or being in the business is sustainable, it's like it's true because vintage stuff is always going to be around because you said it's 10 years. So like
Right.
every 10 years, not even every 10 years, but like basically, you know what I'm saying? Like there's always going to be
You're gonna
things
be there.
going, getting cycled and stuff like
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
So you're literally never going to run out of product because if it's every 10 years, like
It's gonna be there.
always. But so I know you're into reading and you do like you post a good amount of like stuff on your Instagram about like self-help and stuff like that. And I know like in the past you started a book club.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I love books. So
Yeah, I started a book club because I love books.
But I wasn't always into reading. I started recently getting into reading, like, when I got to college and everything too. But, reading has always been a passion for me. I love, like, my favorite genre is self-help books. And, started reading and, thought, there's probably people out there that want to read with me. You just never know. So I posted on my story that I want to start a book club. People hit me up and then started a book club. Did the first one, was phenomenal. The second one was great. And then now I'm in my third book club. So it's really fun. So if anybody's out there is in the books and likes to read, hit me up. They'll love to do another book club. So we actually have like our annual meetup, like our last meetup this Friday. So we all meet on like the last chapter of the book. We all meet up in person, have like a potluck, drink some wine, have some food, laugh, play some games. So it's actually overall a great time. So that's what I also like to do on the side too, is just read books, self-help, motivate myself. I think that's a really big part too, because I struggled a lot in the past with like try to be self-motivated and like try to get myself going. And there's been so many issues like that happened like in the past that was like, dang, I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sit here. And so like reading those books kind of helped me like put me back on my feet and kind of help me get out of that mindset and kind of help me, be a better man, think differently and, think at the positives as the cup is half full instead of like half empty. So
perspective is everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, books has taught me a lot. Like I can go on for days.
Right. What are some book recommendations you got?
Put the people on.
My favorite one is called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker. That's like my number one favorite.
Happiness Advantage.
I've never heard of that either.
Tied for number one is 13. Or it's by a book by Amy Morin, and it's called 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. That's like tied. Those two are my favorite books. And then I love You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I think that's her name. Even the book that we're reading in a book club, Letting Go, is really good too by John Perkis. That's really good. Yeah, I can go on for days. The Atomic Habits by Sean.
That book?
Atomic Habits by
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know that.
James Clear. Yeah, it's amazing. So I took a lot of inspiration from that too, and I got a whole bunch of different motivational quotes that I got from that book, and it's just amazing that I can just that applies to life, just like be 1% better.
Literally, 1% better. I think. Yeah, that book taught me it's not about those big leaps and big gains. Just make sure you get up today and do something different.
Exactly.
I think if I remember correctly, in the book it was talking about how sometimes when you're setting up your habits, do the simplest things first. If you're setting up a habit to go to the gym, make your habit first just to drive to the gym. Don't even go in the gym. Don't work out. Just make it a habit to drive to the gym.
Exactly.
And then once you get used to driving to the gym, make it a habit to getting out the gym and work out for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then make that a habit. And then you just build on from there.
Exactly.
Because that 1% improvement is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I think, I feel like I said this in a video already, but that video of progress, dang, I just forgot what it was. But essentially,
is it when can't stay motivated, stay consistent?
No, not that one. Not that one.
That's a good one too.
That is a good one. That is a good one. But practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvements. Yeah. So that's what you should be looking for and not perfection.
Just
if you're looking to improve, that's success.
Exactly.
If you're looking to be perfect every single time, that's going to literally cause you to fail. Exactly, because that moment you're not perfect, it's dang. Oh God, I suck now. But when you fail and when you're reaching for improvement and you fail, you can say, I can learn from this and I'm gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of what I took from that book. I love that book, as you can tell.
I can talk about that. I can talk about that book for days too. And
Atomic Habits is dope.
It was really good too. And even there was one too, another passage in that book when we were talking about you don't need $10,000. If you want money, you don't need $10,000. You just need better money habits.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So breaking it down, it's a lot of people. If I have $50,000, if I had $100,000, my problems would be solved. It's you can just stop spending money on stupid shit. You know what I mean?
No cap.
So, and then even making your habits attractive. If you
make your habits attractive.
Exactly. So if you have trouble going to the gym, pair it with the habit.
Right.
So like for me, you know how like every Thursday night, Friday, there's like new music that releases.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like, okay, well, when new music releases, I can go to the gym, listen to a new album, and it'll be a lot easier.
Right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So, you know, pairing your habits to make it look attractive is also, you know, very important.
Yeah.
Even listening
Yeah.
to a new podcast while working out, you know,
Exactly.
it kind of takes your mind off
Exactly.
of like, oh, okay, I got to go to the gym.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
Oh,
right.
the new podcast released. Let me listen to it while I work out.
While I work out.
So, you know, so I mean, that book has like gems for days.
Literally
and it's
gems
just
for days.
What was that book called?
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
James
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Make
to-
your habits attractive is like one of my favorite ones though.
Yeah.
Like literally, because
I gotta look
I think
at
a
that
lot
one.
of times we don't do things because we feel like, oh, this is gonna be so draining or whatever the
Exactly.
case may be. I hate doing this, but like when you add that extra factor in, like, cool, I get to do this and I get to chill and listen to music. Cool, like,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna work today and then right after I'm done working, I know I'm gonna do this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, definitely. Gems for days, for real. For that
gems
book
for
is
days.
A1. If you haven't read that book, I highly suggest you read Atomic Habits. Like for real. But yeah. We could talk about books for days. No
I know I
cap.
can. Yeah. It brought me out of some hard places. So,
Really?
Yeah.
B, I know you have a favorite book that you like to recommend to anyone. I wonder if Ziggy's read it.
Dang, why did I just forget the book?
What book?
Oh my gosh.
Ziggy, have you read The Alchemist?
Yeah, The Alchemist. Oh my goodness. As you were talking, I was like, yeah, I love The Alchemist. And then as soon as you were done, I said, it's gone. Like, have you read The Alchemist, bro?
No, I've actually never.
Oh my gosh.
Never read it.
Nobody.
I heard about it.
I think
Yeah.
everybody that's been on the show, nobody's read The Alchemist.
Yeah, never read it. I heard Four Arrangements was good too.
Yes.
Four Arrangements.
I think
Is
it's
it called The Four
I think it's
Arrangements?
agreements.
Four Agreements.
I think it's agreements. Yes.
One of those. Yeah.
Read The Alchemist.
But Alchemist, I heard.
It's not even that long of a book, but let me tell you the story. For me, I think I've talked about this book on the show probably a couple times already, but that book literally, like, I've read it multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
literally. And then one day my sister hit me up. She was like, hey, I was just reading this book and, like, it just reminds me of you, like, or anybody who's really grinding and trying to go get it and really chasing their passion in life. Like, you should read it. And I was like, what book is it? She was like, The Alchemist. I was like, shoot, now I gotta read it again. Like, shoot,
Yeah.
like, but it's that kind of book. For real, for real.
No, most certainly.
Definitely.
And
definitely.
even the book that the 13 reasons or 13 reasons why I meant, or 13 ways, 13 things mentally strong people
Yeah.
don't do. Like that book kind of brought, like, I don't know, my different way of thinking of how like I approach different things. So like the whole PTA job that I got, like the whole story about how I got that was because of that book.
I was gonna say, actually,
Really?
let's talk about that
Yeah.
because I know
That's-
that's something that you were praying on for about a year.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, let's
Oh my goodness.
tell us, let's talk
Prayer
about
and
that.
Prayer, faith,
Yeah,
medicine.
let's talk
Listen,
about that.
Literally,
So
literally.
yeah, so in the book it talks about obviously 13 things that, you know, strong people, mentally strong people don't do. And so like one of them was like, don't focus on the past. And so like for me, like I graduated last year from Cal State San Bernardino, bachelor's in kinesiology. And bachelor's in
you.
kinesiology. And I want to work in like the PTA field. I want to go to I want to go to a PTA school, you know, get licensed and everything. So the thing is, so I have my best friend. He's my homie that I knew for like from JC. So we go to same college together, major in the same thing. So while I'm trying to get into PTA school, obviously you need hours. So I got to tell this whole story because it'll make sense in the long run.
Right.
So we need these hours for PTA school. So I do my hours. I do like my first internship, get my hours. I get my recommendation letter. I get everything. Just I need one more place to internship at, and they get my hours, and then I'm set. So I already did the interview. I applied to CBU, did the interview. The girl loved me. Like grades were amazing and everything. Like I just
Okay,
needed
yeah.
these hours, and I'm set. So I go to this place to internship at. This is like June 2020 to like August 2020. So I get my hours or whatever. And so I keep hitting him up, like the physical therapist. I'm like, hey, you know, I need the internship hours to send to the teacher for PTA school, whatever, the counselor for PTA school, so I can get accepted. So I hit him up from August 2020, called, texted, showed up to the spot, everything. Showed up to the facility. So I did that from August 2020 through August 2021. Did that for a whole year. called, texted, even emailed, showed up to the facility and said like, hey, can I talk to Dr. So-and-so? Oh, he's in right now, but he's with the patient. It's like, nah, I need to see him right now because I need my recommendation letter. It's been way too long.
Right.
So like that year goes by. I get an email from CBU saying, we never got your recommendation letter. Like we can't accept you right now. If somebody drops out, we'll give you a call. So because I didn't get that recommendation letter or those hours from that facility, I wasn't able to go to PTA school. So the homie that I was talking about that I knew since JC, like we went through everything together, studied together, stuff like that. He ends up interning at the same place.
Wow.
And gets a recommendation letter within a couple months. And then is now graduating from Loma Linda in the PTA school.
Wow.
So I'm not gonna put a race to it or anything. But like they're both Indonesian. Like so to me, like to see my best friend to get that recommendation letter from the same person and going into PTA school, it's like, damn, nigga, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
No,
so now I have to change my whole career path, and now I, couldn't. Like I was trying so hard to find a job in that same field because it was already too late to apply to PTA school.
Right.
So I mean, I'm looking for jobs. I started working for Amazon, so I started being a delivery driver. And man, I hated every single second of that job. I hated every single second.
Yeah.
Waking up, delivering packages. I got bit by a dog in my Achilles
Stop it.
for delivering the package while the lady just watches me getting bit by it. So it's just delivering 400 packages in the
bad.
Yes, delivering
That's
400
terrible.
packages in the rain. It's just like I even punched like the side of the wall in the Amazon truck. Because I was just so over it. I was
that Cuba Gooding scene.
I was just throwing punches. Because I was so upset. It's like, how can my best friend, why does this have to happen to me? You know what I mean? So what that book was teaching me is like, don't focus on the past. Like, you're here for a reason. Like, this is teaching you to be patient. Or this is teaching you to deal with something that you need to deal with. So like, to me, I try not to think of it as like a jealousy thing. Like me and him are still cool today.
Of course.
We laugh about it now, but it was just so hard to see my friend graduate, and it's like, damn, I could be right there with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
especially when circumstances are literally out of your hands.
Exactly.
Right.
So I mean, I had times where I was just like bawling, like I literally cried. I was like, nigga, why does this have to happen to me? Why do I have to go through this trial? So so it was a tough moment, but I think it built like the best for me, and persistence and like that patience kind of helped me because later that year in 2021. Like I started to apply to some jobs. Like I made an effort to like even practice my interview questions without even applying to places yet. So like I'll make flashcards and stuff like that, and I'll study what I need to study to just in case. So I applied to like 15 different places. And I heard back from like one place. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna make this like the best interview ever. Like I need this. I'm not gonna work at fucking Amazon anymore. Like I fucking hate it there. I'm not doing that. I hate the people. It's just not me. Like I didn't get a bachelor's degree in kinesiology to deliver packages all day.
Facts.
I feel
You know
that.
what I mean?
I feel
So
that.
to me, I just felt better than that job. Like I deserve more. So like I applied. I finally got a job interview. Went to the job interview. Killed it. Got the call the same day while I'm delivering packages. I get a call and they said like, hey, the PT, he loved you. We want to have you back. We'll be sending you an email soon enough for, to be accepted to be a, basically a PTA. The main thing is a PTSS, so physical therapist support specialist. But it's basically what a PTA does, dealing with patients. So as soon as I got that call and that email, I was so happy. The next day I said, yeah, no, I'm quitting. Goodbye. Like I'm not working for Amazon anymore.
Right.
Like so, I mean, I even wrote down in my journal, like before the interview and everything, like I'm
that.
gonna be, I'm gonna work for a PTA facility. I'm not gonna work at Amazon. Like I'm gonna work in the field that I'm happy with.
Right.
And like that's literally what happened. And so now I had to say that whole story so you guys can like
No, I get you. No, 100%.
understand like
it.
how long this has been in like the making.
Right.
So.
No,
I think you reminded me of just one thing. It's like, it's okay to kind of move along and not be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like knowing that like this isn't my last destination and I know I'm going on somewhere else. Like I hate it here and I'm going to work till I'm over here.
Right.
I think sometimes people are like, I'm uncomfortable. Forget it. I'm just going to quit and I'm just going to be comfortable now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you stuck through like the trenches essentially for you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It was like, nah, bro, like I already know what I deserve and I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm capable of. Like this may not be it today. This may not be it tomorrow, next week, a year from now, but eventually and at some point, I know where my path is going to take me.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
huge, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's like, Literally, that's
really.
a trait that everyone should aspire to attain. Because like it at times it's so easy to just say I'm gonna stop here.
Exactly, and be content.
And be content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This episode of More Than a Voice is sponsored by First Team All League. Aim to be the best at whatever you do in life. Second place is not an option.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, because to tag on to what Brandon was saying was like, this goes back to a conversation we had a while ago too on another podcast of like, it's so crazy that like because it's nice that obviously like you want to be a PTA, that's amazing, but the true like treasure in all that and in your story is everything that you had to go through to get to that point, because in all of that and not getting the letter, not being able to apply, right? It took you down a path to where you found that book, to where you were able to apply what you read in that book to your actual life. And like, it changed your mindset in that moment. And like, that is where basically what kind of molded you to be ready for that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's like, what I was saying about the prior conversation of like, people always look to the goal, but they don't admire the process of what happens before getting to the goal that makes them ready to achieve that goal. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the true like everything is. That's literally where the growth, the mindset change, literally all of it just happens. And that's where what people should appreciate more is,
I agree,
that journey as opposed to the destination.
That's literally what like. In The Alchemist, back to this again, like he literally gets robbed in the book. And later down the line, he comes into a situation where he can get robbed again. And he's like, dang, if it wasn't for me getting robbed back then, I wouldn't know how to maneuver this situation now.
A bad miracle.
Bro. Like,
That's what I call a bad miracle.
Like,
bad miracle. I've never heard of that.
Never heard
but
that term.
I like that.
I like that term.
I like that a lot.
So it's in the book that we're reading, Letting Go by John Purvis.
Okay.
And so he had a chapter in there where he talked about like this bad miracle. I think that's the term he used, bad miracle. So, or what was it? Bad miracle? Or was it? Yeah, bad miracle, something like that. But I'm just gonna explain the story. So he had a situation where there was a village, and this father had a son that he loved a lot and stuff like that. And he was out trying to gather horses, but like he broke his leg. So obviously, dad is devastated, son is devastated. And then a couple of months go by, the village is gathering up all the young men to fight into the army. So obviously, you're basically signing your life away. Right. So now the son can't get recruited to go into the army because he broke his leg. So now, it's good. It's a bad thing that he did break his leg, but it's a good thing that, he wasn't able to go to the army. So it's something good that happened. I'm not too sure if it was termed bad miracle, but, it's along those lines. It's something bad happened, but it happened for a good reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think I feel... it's like, yes, it's bad, but like everything has a purpose. So it's like
perspective, like you said.
Think about like what could happen, or not what could happen, but like, why did it happen? Like, okay, like what's the next step? Like, cool. Like, okay, cool. I hurt my knee, or for me, like, cool. I didn't get to the cause that I wanted to get to. Okay, like what's next?
Right.
I would have never started music if I would have ever actually went to Arizona and went to college that I was supposed to go to. I would have never started music. I would have never started this podcast. Dang, that's crazy. I'm just having a whole realization right now. Never started this podcast. Me and Justin probably would have never been friends. Yeah. Me and you, Ziggy, would have never been actual close. I wouldn't be with Karina.
Everything the past 6 years probably would have never happened.
Literally. Yeah. And all because they literally, and it's crazy thinking about it because I didn't make it. Like a week before that I was supposed to leave, they called me and said, hey, like, there was a math credit that you didn't get. And I was like, yo, what? Like, and they were like, yeah, so you can't go. They sent me my school schedule. They sent me everything, bro. Like packets for like, literally right after that phone call. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, what the heck? But like, now, like, dang, bro. Like, it was supposed to happen to bring me here.
Yeah.
Like, back then, I spiraled, bro, like bad. Like, life was over for me. Like, no cap, bro. But like, now I'm like, yo, like, it's weird to say I appreciate it. Like, because I just appreciate the journey and where it's brought me so far.
That's so funny because
like, sheesh, no cap, bro. That's crazy.
That's so funny because on Twitter too, I've been seeing the same quote a lot. And typically when in the past, when I've seen like the same quote repetitively, that means like it's about to be at least in my experience, it's about to come up to where like I can use that. And you just saying
That's
that
crazy.
was like,
Hey, Justin, I see you.
Okay.
it was always it says trust the plan that God has for you, not your pain. I'm not sure if that's verbatim. That's not verbatim, but it's something along those lines to where it's like
I'll find it real quick.
yeah, I'm gonna try and find it because I want to say it like right.
I like that because I feel like because the way our feelings naturally go and just our us as humans and how we naturally think, like sometimes we go crazy over our current situation, right. not understanding what God has already written out for us. Was already like it's already done. Like literally just keep going. Like
exactly.
And if you focus on keeping on and keep going, like you'll be better off in the long run.
Yeah,
like, mentally you're stronger.
You're stronger.
Like spiritually, emotionally, you're a lot stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like
even going back to what you were saying and back to the quote too. I saw a quote too where it said it's better to have a whoops than a what if.
Right.
So it's better to have like, oh man, what if I did do this? Or what if I did do that? You know what I mean? It's better than, at least I tried and oops, didn't happen.
That's like
but
me leaving
now
my
look
job.
what happened. Yeah.
Like, what if
now
I didn't
look what
leave?
happened.
Like, we wouldn't be here on this podcast.
Yeah. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to even think about that.
Man. I think that comes back down to the self-reflection. I know me and Justin had an episode a while ago talking about self-reflection and meditation. But like, if you don't pay attention to like, in the book The Alchemist, they call it the omens. Like, but if you don't pay attention to those little things, like you can lose track and lose focus so easy.
Right.
Because that self-reflection and being like, yo, like I've made it this far. Like,
exactly.
It's so funny. Like every day, like literally every day, the song "Never Would Have Made It" goes through my mind.
Really?
Literally, never would have made it.
Fred Hampton?
Yeah.
Is it Fred Hampton?
Hammond?
Hammond? Fred Hammond.
We're going to flame him up as a people. We're calling him Fred Hampton. Okay, you heard it here first. Flame Ziggy. Mr. Thick Brows for Fred Hampton. So every day I just think like never would have made it. Like literally without God, I wouldn't be here. And I like to, it goes through my mind, especially when I'm going through like literally every day when I'm low key struggling, I get a little down. Like, yo, like I never would have made it this far. And I also know that I'm going further because the plan's already written. For
you. Yeah.
What's it?
I found it.
Okay,
so
okay.
it says God is not punishing you; He is preparing you. Trust His plans, not your pain. Yeah,
facts.
Yeah,
that's facts.
But I've literally been seeing that everywhere.
That's
like
crazy.
someone posted on the Snapchat store. I've seen it on Twitter twice. So like, yeah, no, that's
right. That's big. Bro. That's
He
big.
wasn't
That's
punishing you by not sending you to Arizona. He was just preparing you.
Oh,
man.
Thank you.
But like,
he wasn't punishing you by not giving you your letter of recommendation, bro.
He was
He was literally preparing you.
Yeah.
And your preparation was you really buckling down and saying, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna prepare myself for the interview so I can knock him out, bro, and be ready, bro. Hands down, because whatever that you thought your plan was that was so great, God was like, my plan is already better for you, and I'm already knocking it out, bro. Like,
and even to go off of that, like the effort that you put into your work, like podcast, photography, music, whatever. Like if you put effort into your craft, then that effort is gonna get reciprocated back to you. If you just half-ass it, nigga, you're not gonna get what you want.
Right.
So even with my t-shirts, like I had like a weekly sale where I did like 3 shirts a day, sold some t-shirts, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it a mission to post 3 days or post 3 shirts a day no matter what to make some extra money. And as soon as I put effort into like, because I had a drought where I wasn't selling too many tees, I got busy, whatever. So I made it a plan, like, you know what, I'm gonna buckle down, take these pictures, you know, sell these t-shirts. And I put effort into that business, I put effort into those pictures, and now, you know, all the shirts, most of the shirts sold. People hit me up after, so like, hey, can you do bundle deals? Here, I got X amount of money for you, can you make me a bundle? And me just putting in work that whole month or that whole week gave me fruits of my labor. You know, I put energy into that, and I got energy reciprocated. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, I feel like it's the same thing. If you just half-ass something, it's not gonna come back to the way you want it to. Yeah.
Right.
So the more you put effort into it, like I can pretty sure, you know, you're doing your music thing, you know, making beats, you know, what's his name? 30 by Thursday. He used to make 30 beats every day by Thursday.
Sir.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
So, you know, putting in that work, it plays. So it pays off. Like obviously you made beats, you know, days. You did promotion videos. You know, you did, you know, promoted yourself on Instagram, photography. You did the same thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, once you put that out there, you're gonna get that reciprocated. So Yeah.
Faith without works is dead. You can believe all you want that you're gonna be the greatest, but if you're not working like you're the greatest, that's what's really gonna tell the story. And everybody's gonna see that hands down.
Right.
You can talk as much game as you want, bro. But if your hard work and your persistence isn't showing that, bro, we gonna see and we gonna know. Like that's hands down, bro. Hands down.
For me, actions always speak louder than words. So it's like,
All day.
if I know what I'm capable of, my actions are going to be able to say that without me ever having to say a word. Yeah,
Totally agree.
and it's a silly example, but like a few weeks ago, Brandon walked into the shop because Zay's shop to get a haircut, and Joe was in there, and he asked him, he was like, "Hey B, so I heard you're pretty good on the basketball court."
Right.
Brandon didn't touch the basketball in I don't know how long,
Years, bro.
but because he's so good and he's put in the work to be that good.
Right.
His reputation precedes himself, so he doesn't even have to say it. It just
Dang,
it
just
speaks for
I didn't even think about that. That's
it
facts,
speaks
though.
for
That's
itself.
facts.
Like
That's facts.
everywhere we go that we've played basketball, every time like people will know Brandon or they'll know someone that knows Brandon, they'll be on the court like, "Dang, Brandon's here. Okay, who's going?" and then they're like, "Dang, who's going to guard him, bro? He's low-key too fast for everybody." And it's just like a whole thing. But like that's the whole point of like you work hard, it's gonna show.
Right.
And usually you won't have to say anything,
Right.
Because people are gonna already know that.
Right. I just had a quote like this in my head real quick that I just low-key made up. You work hard, but God works harder.
Oh, that's fire. You have like little fire.
We don't. But then we gonna need one of those.
We can
bro.
do this though.
No, for real. Because you work hard, but God works harder.
Yeah.
You sit down, then you gonna sit down. That's on you.
Right.
Oh man, I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt
Yeah.
too. We got two t-shirts out of the day. Like,
They gonna get it on the way home. They gonna get it on the way home.
They gonna get it on the way home. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Man. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Ziggy, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, my guy?
Next 5 years, plan on working at a sports facility.
Okay.
Working with athletes specifically, getting them back to rehab and getting them back to playing basketball specifically. I just love basketball. Doesn't matter what team or what city, what state.
Hope you stay in LA, but it's okay.
Yeah, me too.
I love LA, but
Not for the Clippers. Not
Not for the Clippers.
Clipper game all the way. Clipper game all the way.
I forgot you're a
Clipper.
Clipper guy.
Yeah, come on, Clippers. We're winning the title this year.
We can cut the podcast now.
Yeah, we're gonna end it here.
John Wall, Kawhi, PG, stopping that.
John Wall. Don't get me wrong. I love
Anybody.
I love
Anybody in the West,
I
bro.
love my guy John Wall, but come on now, let's relax.
Clippers all the way.
Okay.
Till I
the
die.
Mavericks-
all
Didn't
the
the
way
Mavericks
back
beat
to the
y'all?
boat.
Didn't the Mavericks beat y'all? Yeah, it's crazy.
Exactly.
But go continue.
We got it this year. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, next 5 years, yeah. So working at a sports facility. I want to, invest in some real estate. I want to be able to have multiple properties, passive income. I want to be, at that point, still selling T-shirts.
Right.
Hopefully, selling T-shirts to the NBA players or somebody famous. You know what I mean?
Is that something you really plan on like keeping for like literally like as not as a lifelong hobby, but as a lifelong like business flowing as forever?
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
I feel like I can never get away from it. So I feel like it's always gonna be there. And like someone might say like, hey, I heard you got some T-shirts. Like, what's up?
Hey, I heard you got the nice vintage tees. Can I
Can I indulge in some
meeting you in alleys and
vintage
stuff?
T-shirts?
Hey,
I know the spot.
are you the one they call thick with 3 C's brows?
Thick brows? I'm looking for thick brows. Have you seen him?
Thick brows. I know he's got the best vintage tees out there. So.
Yeah, you can
I know
find
a
them in the
spot.
alley behind the dumpster.
You can meet at my place. It's meet me at 11 o'clock at night. I'll be outside in the road.
Oh my gosh.
In the alley off of Third.
I'm dead.
That's so funny, bro.
Is there anything else you want to pick up though, like along the way? Like, do you think, or do you that you want to dabble in, or like anything like that?
On a bookstore?
Shoot, man.
I mean, probably not a bookstore, but if I have like a,
You should do a book podcast instead of a book club.
That's what
That
that's
would
literally
be fire,
literally what I
bro.
was
Hold
about to
up.
say.
Get
That's
on and
what I
talk
was
about
about to say.
books.
bro.
That's literally what I was
That's
about to
the
say.
dope one.
So, even, doing a book club is cool, like doing it on
Right.
Zoom and everything. But like, if I were to be able to do it like either in person with everybody or even like have a podcast where we talk about like each chapter or each week is a chapter that we talk about in the book. And it's just like,
Right.
they can listen to the book and then listen
Right.
to like other perspectives while they listen to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You
it's
could even
like-
live stream that, bro.
I mean,
could.
Yeah, there's.
that's it.
Dang,
I mean, there's a whole different ways. Yeah, there's a whole different.
My wheels
said
are
I'm not
turning.
gonna steal your idea.
My wheels are turning with that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
low key
there's
fire,
a lot
bro.
of different
Because I know
ways.
you take a lot of notes in your books. I mean, if I already know you do. I know in my book I write down little things and like, okay, this is, and that was dope. Let me highlight that and right next to it. Like you can literally, that's all your podcast can be. It's like, oh, so we were reading in this chapter and like this note right here stuck out because X, Y, and Z, or like, dang, this one was dope. Like that analogy was fire. Like that'd be shoot. Man, I don't know. You got a whole business on your hands. Shoot, you want to run that up?
Hey, I mean, the world is your oyster, so you can really do what you want.
Not the world is your oyster. I'm allergic to
saying.
seafood. No, I'm not.
You just don't like it.
I don't. I hate seafood. I'm not a seafood lover.
But yeah, man, no,
That's dope, my guy. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Shoot.
Motivational minute.
Yeah, do your thing, my guy.
All right. So
Fuck off,
today we got a quote for motivational minutes. Another one. Oh man, I love this. Aside from all the other quotes we just dropped, but this one I've been seeing a lot often too. And let me bring it up.
Do your thing, big dog.
Of course. All right. So this motivational minute is those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working. You're too tired. You don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. And that quote is by Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace.
The bean.
But for me, that quote is everything Ziggy's been talking about.
Right.
Everything I've seen you do and talk about on the podcast.
Low-key makes me emotional thinking because then I think about all the late nights and all the times you've been by yourself working and grinding and like.
And you were like, I don't want to do this.
Right. Like.
But I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
All the things that I've done,
emotional right now.
that Zay's done, that Noah's done, all the people that we've had on the podcast so far, all the things that they have done when they didn't want to. And I feel like every entrepreneur, any creative has had those moments when like, man, today really just isn't the day. But you do it. And when you get to the point to where you have define success and you feel like you've reached that point, you look back on those moments, you're so grateful, you're so happy that you were able to do those and experience that, because without that, like we said before on this podcast today, without that you wouldn't be where you are.
Right. I think about the definition of integrity and literally what you do when no one's watching. Those late nights are your entrepreneur and your hustle integrity. Like, how hard are you working when the doors are closed and when the lights are off and nobody's watching?
No one's watching, exactly.
How hard are you really working? Like, that integrity literally is, you know how they say you wear your heart on the sleeve?
Yeah.
Your integrity as a businessman and somebody who's grinding and working to get it done, literally that's on your chest, bro.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that people are going to see, like, every day.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
I think I was with you and I was playing the video of Kevin Gates and he was like, I forgot who said it. Man, I forgot who he said it, but he was talking on another interview and he was just like, yeah, bro, like you work so hard for something. And he said that anyone that tries to take that from you is going to have a cold day in hell before they're able to take that away from you. Because you work so hard for that, you're going to fight with everything you have to not let someone take that away from you. And
that's facts.
Yeah. Like,
that's facts.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I would never. If I ever heard, oh yeah, we're gonna shut down the studio. All right, cool. Sounds good. I'm fighting with tooth and nail to open up the next one, bro. Like literally.
Or to keep the one you have.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Exactly. Grind don't stop for nothing, bro. Literally for nothing.
No. And on another note too, like I was talking to somebody and they were talking about how people get called like one hit wonders or X, Y, and Z about social media, X, Y, and Z. Don't say that to somebody. If you have, because you really never know, like you didn't see behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like being in social media or like a content creator or even an artist, like you didn't. Yeah, they may have had that one song that blew up, and it may have been your first time hearing about them, but you didn't see all the flops. I'm not even gonna call them flops, but all the albums and the mixtapes that came before that, and being on.
Oh, you mean like an overnight success?
Overnight success.
Yeah.
Don't do that to people because
overnight
they worked hard.
A lifetime of things, bro. Like when people are like, damn, bro, you put this together overnight. I'm like, nah, overnight is all the late nights I put in, bro. That's an accumulation of all of that,
nights,
bro. Literally.
So, you know, because if you're not there for it, don't feel like you have a a right to speak on that. And I mean that respectfully, just because it's disrespectful to call someone an overnight success when they've been grinding and putting in the work that you weren't there for or there to witness. And that, like I said, that's something content creating, music, photography, whatever it is that they're doing. Don't ever call someone an overnight success.
No such thing as an overnight success, bro.
Because they worked hard to do that.
If it was, everybody would be successful. Let me tell you that.
And let me tell you, everyone's not
successful, bro.
And also,
or at least not yet.
And if you're trying to do the same thing that somebody else is doing, and they've already done it, and you're calling them an overnight success, you're probably not successful because you're so busy worried about everybody else. Focus on your own lane, and then see what happens for you.
Go get that bag.
Yeah. What we used to say? Don't worry, chase a bag. Don't worry about what I'm doing. But yeah,
man.
But man, so we just want to say thank you again, Ziggy, for coming out. We appreciate it. Loved having you on the show.
Right, man. For real.
Man, we're very proud of you. To be completely honest, I'm super proud of you. You've gone through a lot in the past couple years, and you overcame a lot in the past couple years, from car troubles to graduating to jobs. Like, I'm actually super proud of you, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know, like, there was a point when you had like 3 jobs, you were doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you were really out there like grinding and doing whatever you needed to do.
Let's call you a Jamaican.
Bumble
clock. Got 10 jobs.
And there would be times when I'm like, dang, I don't want to do this. But then I'd remember, I'm like, no, there's people out there working just as hard, or if not harder than I am. So I don't have a reason to be tired or to complain. I need to get up and I need to work and work just as hard. And you were one of those people that I always looked to and admired for doing that, because I knew like you were always doing so much to where I was like, nah, if he can do it, I can do it. Right. So I just appreciate you for that. I'm not sure if I ever told you that, but I do appreciate you being a silent inspiration. But for real, yeah, man, I'm just proud of you and everything that you've accomplished, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you, because I know your future's bright and you're going to accomplish a hell of a lot more going forward.
Man,
so.
No cap.
Yeah.
No cap.
Thank you.
I completely agree. I think Justin said a dope thing. Those silent inspirations. You never know who's watching and looking up to you, bro. And I feel like our group is dope. We got a lot of hustlers in our group, bro. And I feel like we silently watch and are inspired by each other daily, bro. No cap.
Right.
And that is so huge. Like, So I say that to say, like, use that as your inspiration. You being a silent inspiration, use that as inspiration to keep going and keep pushing.
Yeah. Right. No, I totally agree with you. Like, even you guys too are inspirations as well. Like, I'm only child. Y'all like my brothers. So it's like cool to look up to, somebody like that. Some people who are hardworking and everything. So, I mean, I really appreciate, the years that we've been together and the stuff that you guys, that we've been through and everything. And, my biggest inspiration is my dad. Like, I always say this story, and the reason why I keep working so hard, the reason why I keep going is because of him. Because there was a time where, me and him like lived together. It was like years ago. And, like, our house got foreclosed. So I had to like go live with my mom for the time being and stuff like that. So like we're packing up the U-Haul truck and stuff like that. We're getting ready to go. And like, I look at my dad in the U-Haul truck. I know where I'm going to stay at. I don't know where he's going to stay at. So like, I'm seeing that at the U-Haul truck and I'm like, Dad, where you going to stay at? Right. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I'll find a place. And like, at that point, like, I started literally bawling my eyes out. Right. Like, I'm crying nonstop. So, a year goes by, I visit my dad, but he's staying at a motel. So like, I go visit him. He has like a makeshift closet. He has like a microwave there, frozen food and everything. So he's staying in a hotel for a whole year, paying like $90-some a day to like stay afloat. So to me, that like made the hustle in me like more. And I was able to be like, you know what? I'm gonna start working hard for my dad. Like, I'm gonna get him a place. Like, I want him to stay in a place where, it's sustainable. Because just seeing him in like motel to motel, hotel, that shit is like depressing and shit. Yeah. So, so that just motivated me to like keep going and keep moving and, work harder than I can because of him. Because I know he put food on my plate. Let me try my best to put food on his plate. Right. You know what I mean? So thankfully now, like, my dad has his place and everything too. Like, I'll go visit him and everything. But like, just that whole moment is just like what keeps me going. I still remember that. Like, I never want that to happen to him again. Right. Even my mom too. Like, I don't want that to happen to anybody. But just being in that moment and being in, like, damn, like, where are you gonna stay at? Like, you're basically homeless at this point. Like, my own dad
Right.
You know, so it's just
right.
it just hit a nerve, and I
Right,
was like,
right.
you know, I just gotta keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the reason for a lot of people's purpose and grinding so hard is not for personal gain. And I think that is what sets a lot of the really, really successful people apart from others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're hustling and you're grinding so that you could be successful, so that you could help the next person, help the next family member do this and X, Y, and Z for this person, bro. Like your success for yourself is already there. Like, but it's like, yo,
Yeah,
like
you
I
already-
can do. Oh,
already-
bro, like, what do you need? Cool, I got you, bro. Like that's what I'm here for, bro. Like,
Right.
and I think that even goes past like money and wealth. Like, if I could do that with my own knowledge, if I can be like, yo, bro, like, hey, like I've gone through X, Y, Z. Let me tell you about this. Or like, yo, bro, I was in this situation. I was an engineer and blah blah blah. Cool, bro. Let me help you out with that. Like, that's literally what we work for.
Right.
Like, not even just for me every single day, so I can be like, hell yeah, I made it. Like, who
Exactly.
gives a damn, bro, about what you did,
did.
bro? What did you do for the next man? Like, what did you do for the community? Where did you take all that you already took for yourself, bro? And where did you put it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to give seeds to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, your wealth and your knowledge can't just stop with yourself.
Right.
Because that is a dead seed and a dead plant, bro. You don't ever see a tree that just literally sprouts and it just stops there. No, it's sprouting leaves and sprouting
Leaves
things
and
that drop
spreading out.
that
That
grow,
help.
bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is what a plant and what a successful business person does, bro. Like they grow into a tree that also grows other trees. That should be the mindset. Like, and that's
Yeah.
what you got, bro. And that's huge,
Yeah.
bro. That's huge.
Yeah, that reminds me of a quote. It's like, don't chase butterflies. If you plant a garden, the butterflies will come to you.
Ooh.
So it's
Run
hard.
that
It's,
up. Oh
it's,
my God.
it's harder.
That's
It's
crazy.
harder to catch
Crazy.
butterflies by yourself, but if you have a garden, butterflies come to you. So obviously, a lot of
damn.
times we try to go for, you know, I want that. You know, I want this girl, or I want this dream car, I want
Right.
this
Right,
house,
right.
and you're chasing all these butterflies, which is hard to catch. But if you just work on yourself, work on your garden,
Right.
they just come to you. So the people come to you, girls come to you, money comes to you. You know, and now it gets to grow. So now you get hummingbirds, you get bees too that help pollinate. So now you get
things
you get
that you didn't even.
yeah. So like for my
Right.
business, my clothing business, I plant a garden, you know, teas. Now a bee comes along, tries to pollinate, spread photos for my t-shirts, videos for my t-shirts. That spreads. Now, okay, let's make a little promo video with someone modeling a
Right.
shirt. I get a beat on the video.
There we
So
go.
now my garden is spreading with hummingbirds, bees, butterflies. Now my garden is getting bigger. So
Right,
it's
right,
just like
right.
that. Yeah.
Dang,
That's crazy.
I love that.
I wear
that.
I wear a shirt too from the brand Grateful that I talked about last time, and on the back of one of the shirts it says the first garden you need to tend to is your own.
That's just true.
Yeah. It's facts.
So
True. It's the truth. It's the
that's so
truth.
crazy,
Right. Right.
man.
That just changes the whole intent of what you're doing, though. Because calling yourself a garden or calling yourself a plant or a tree has intentions of growing more than just yourself.
It spreads
Like,
out.
yeah. I don't know. I just had a whole thought in my head. But yeah. Man, oh man. But Ziggy, I really do appreciate it. Man, this has been some dope conversations. I really rock with it.
No,
So I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
having you on, bro. Yeah, man. Keep going. That's all I want to
Yeah,
tell you.
appreciate it.
Keep grinding,
Thank
bro.
you.
Be encouraged.
Keep
Know,
hustling.
know that your plan has already been written out. And shoot, I
Yeah,
think
man.
you've already experienced enough to be like, yeah, I got it. Like,
Like I've been
cool,
doing
thank
enough.
you.
Like,
Like-
let me just throw this out to you.
let me throw this up. I know you got it again. Like, all right, cool. Yeah.
But no, thank y'all a lot for having me on this podcast.
course,
Like,
bro,
it's
of course.
amazing what you
Absolutely,
guys are doing. And
Thank you, man.
The
Thank you.
audience that you guys are reaching is just phenomenal. So
Thank you.
keep doing what you're doing. And
Thank you.
There's nothing but big things coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I
it,
appreciate that.
man.
I
High key, we
that.
appreciate that.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, a little tad bit. You
All right, y'all.
Appreciate it. You know,
With that, y'all know
that-
what it is.
Yeah.
It's
End of the
your-
podcast.
Slice kidneys. Oh, my bad. Don't look at me. Dang. This is awkward.
The thing is, so we got this new system, right? So B can see what he's doing.
I can see. I'm looking
see
at my
So I
exactly
hope
what he's
he
doing.
saw that and it's like, dang, maybe
They
I
saw
shouldn't have
me.
done that, or I should never do that again.
I'm looking good. Yeah,
No.
ain't gotta lie.
Nah, one braid is kind of off.
Oh, don't do me like that. Hold
A
up.
little bit.
Don't you ever you shoot at
I
my
see it.
braider ever again, bro?
see it.
She gonna beat you up herself.
No.
Shout out Janae.
It's nothing to do with your braider, but I've seen you playing with that one braid a lot.
Hey, stop playing. You're gonna get me beat up, bro. She gonna knock me out.
Janae, he's
If
messing
you
up your
watching
braids.
this, yeah.
We are logging off. Get out. Y'all. Good day, bro.
You guys make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with us on Spotify.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, follow the page.
Yes, sir.
Download the streams or download the podcast.
Turn on the notifications on
That
YouTube.
too.
Turn on the
That
notifications
too.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just be notified by us. That's all I'm telling you.
That
That's all I'm
part.
telling you.
Tapping with the bro again.
Yeah.
Instagram,
Run
your
it
fave
up.
brown skin, and then
No
we
eye.
just- no eye in the skin. So
We're gonna work to keep
We'll
these
put that
shirts
in-
up. I'm not
yeah,
even gonna
we'll
hold
put it
you.
in the description.
So we're gonna make that happen. We're
tap
gonna make
into
that
his
happen.
business though, the _vintage district. Tap
Yes,
in
sir.
with that.
Yes, sir.
Show love, and we're gonna see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. We out.
Peace.
Deuces. Peace.